Unless you have been living under a rock for the past 10 years or so, you know that the book selling industry has changed dramatically. Walden Books, Borders, B. Dalton, they're all no more. Barnes Noble is teetering on the edge. Even Christian bookstores like Lifeway are struggling. Meanwhile, Amazon is flourishing. More than 70 million people each month visit the online giant. They account for close to 80% of all e-book sales and upwards of 40% of all book sales totally. Of course, these numbers are based on experts crunching numbers and making estimates, but even if they are off by 10% or so, that's a major market. An author or a publisher ignores Amazon at their peril. In this lesson, we will discuss ways to optimize your presence on Amazon. Specifically, we will be looking at how to create an author page and how to optimize your book sales pages. First, creating an author page. Consider your author page your home base on Amazon. This is a place where you can showcase your books, post videos and pictures, blog posts, connect with your fans in very many ways. To get started, you need to go to authorcentral.amazon.com. That's authorcentral.amazon.com and log in using your Amazon email address. Now, for those of you who are traditionally published, be sure that this is the same email address that you use to contact your publisher. You see, when Amazon verifies that you have the right to add books to your page and they contact your publisher, they often use your email as proof of identity. You will need to confirm your email address and agree to the terms of service. Once you do that, you come on this page. This page has news and updates from Amazon. It also has links that allow you to modify your author page, add books, edit sales pages for those books, check your sales rank, and view all the customer reviews in one place. This is an incredibly useful tool. You can just click on customer reviews, and there's the reviews for every single book you have on Amazon. You can search by individual book or read them all. It's a very handy tool to have. But that's not something we're going to be going into today. We're going to start with setting up an author page. So click on author page and you will get a screen like this. This is your dashboard. Now, mine obviously has content in it. Yours will be empty. There are 6 sections here: biography, URL, photos, videos, blog, and events. Let's look at each of these. First, you have your biography. Now, this is where you introduce yourself to your reader. But remember, this is still a sales pitch, albeit a very subtle one. You want to give people an idea about how your life has influenced your writing. Try to focus on some sort of theme. In my case, the theme is that because I grew up working poor, I retreated into cheap paperback books as my escape from the harsh realities of life. That motivated me to publish books that are a quality product, but priced low enough that anybody can afford them. Now, your theme might be different. Just show in your biography how your life, now or in the past, informs your writing. Now, if you have this biography, it will be posted on the various sales pages for your books, unless you write something specific for that book. We'll talk more about that later. Next to your biography is a box where you can choose a URL or web address for your page. Just click Add URL and you choose a username. Most people use their name or pen name. I use my publishing name, Wordmaster. Whatever you choose is fine. Just choose something that's easy for people to remember. Right below this is a place for you to upload up to 8 photos. These will be used on your page at the top of your biography. You can add pictures of yourself, book covers, or do what I've done. I added my logo for my publishing. It depends on what you want to brand yourself as. Below this is a place to put videos. I put up one that I made recently about my novel writing class that I'm teaching. You can put in book trailers, short interviews, or any other videos that you have the right to post. Now, the videos have to be less than 500 megabytes. Now, that's about half an hour at standard definition. It's about a quarter hour at high def. Better off not to use high def, just use standard definition and you'll be okay. On the other side, under the bio, you can add a RSS feed for your blog. What RSS stands for is really simple syndication. And it is a means whereby what you have on your blog can be delivered to another website. You need to find out the specific URL for your blog. You will find that from your blog provider. You simply enter it in that space, and then every time you update your blog, 24 hours later, it shows up on your Amazon page. It's a great way to keep your Amazon page current. Finally, you have a place where you can post events such as book signings, conference speaking, readings, book launch parties, whatever. You just enter the event, the description, venue, date, and time. Okay, that covers setting up your page. What will it look like? Well, here's what mine looks like. You notice on the left, there is my bio and my picture. Now, directly under the picture is a little button that people can click to follow you on Amazon. I would really encourage you to tell people who get your newsletter, who visit your Facebook page, to have them follow you on Amazon. Every time you update your page, every time you publish a new book, they will get an email telling them what's happening on Amazon. And the neat thing about this is when they come to this site, it's just one click and they can buy your book. Very handy. Next to your bio is a carousel of books that people can scroll through. And this is something relatively new, and it looks cute. It looks great, I think. Now, below this are pictures and blog posts that you have. This is also where you'll have your video. These are called author updates, and it's anything you add that's sort of a little bit extra. For a more detailed listing of your books, you can scroll down a bit, and there is a whole list of your books, complete with star counts and pages, all sorts of details that they can get. Now, this is your author page, but it would be a pretty blank page and not very interesting if it weren't for the books that you put on the page. So let's look now about how to add books to your author page, and secondly, how to edit what the visitor to Amazon sees when they go to your book sales page. So first, adding a book. Adding a book is really simple. Just click on books and you'll see all of your books that you already have added. Now, when you created your author page, Amazon already filled it with some books that they figured that are yours, and you probably approved them. But they nearly always miss a few. So click Add a Book, and then up pops a dialog box, and you can type in your name, or the name of a book if you happen to know one specifically that you're missing. And there will be the books show up. You simply click on add this book. A day or two later, it shows up in your list. Very simple. You can also optimize your Amazon sales page for each book. Now, this is a type of search engine optimization. Amazon has a very powerful search engine, and while they keep the algorithm relatively secret, there are some ways that you can improve the ranking of your books with the search engine. And many of those ways come from optimizing the sales page for your book. Now, there's a warning here, and I've got my big warning picture up here. If you are traditionally published, you should check with your publisher's marketing department before attempting to tweak the copy on the Amazon site. They may not want you messing with it directly. However, most are overworked and will welcome any assistance in you providing them copy or assistance in editing the site. Also, especially those areas like where it says from the author or about the author, those are sites that they probably don't have time to write themselves. So you can write them, send them to them. They have a much more rich sales page and they don't have to do the work. So it doesn't hurt to ask. Although I have to say, thinking about all that makes me very glad that I'm an indie writer. I remember those days of trying to get my marketing done through the marketing department. But then it couldn't be that I am a control freak or anything like that. Anyway, click on the tab. When you get to this page, you click on the tab that says editorial reviews. And if it isn't selected by default, it will pop up. Now, the interesting thing I find about this tab is it's marked editorial reviews, but that only applies to the first item in the list. All the other stuff has nothing to do with editorial reviews, but that first item does. And this is a place where you put in reviews that you might have gotten in a newspaper, a magazine, article, books, blog, book blogs. If you did a blogging tour and somebody wrote a review, that's where you would post excerpts. Don't try to post the whole review unless it's just a very short one. And don't post customer reviews. Those are all ready done. And by no means don't post a customer review from one of Amazon's competitors. That's a big no-no as well. Now, right under that is probably the most important section of your sales page, and that's the product description. And there are some things you are to avoid. First, you cannot include URLs, web addresses, phone numbers, or physical addresses. Now, there are some writers out there who advise people to add URLs to their other books in this place. You can't do that. That's against the rules. So don't pay attention to those people who say that. Also, you should try to avoid including any spoilers. Just give the basic premise and then a sense of what the reading experience is going to be about. Don't try to give a full summary of the plot. Now, let's say I was putting up here. Now, what I have here is an example from my Bible studies. And in this one, the Bible study is about agape love. It's based on 1 Corinthians 13. And in that section, I try to get in as many uses of the words love, agape, Christian love, Bible study, Bible, all of those type of words that are words people are likely to be searching for when they come to Amazon. Remember, it's not just about getting something that makes them want to buy the book. You also want to create something that's going to make it easy to find that book in the search engine. And the more times you can get keywords into it, the better. You also want to try and get in things like genres and anything that people might be looking for. Now, for instance, with my Dark Side of the Moon series, one of my books might have something like this. Carolyn and Mike are hoping for a quiet honeymoon cruise to Mars when a research scientist is murdered. So much for their honeymoon. Is the killer her husband, the religious fanatic, the billionaire who wants her research, or someone totally different? This fourth in the Dark Side of the Moon mystery series will keep you guessing as our sleuths navigate a maze of blackmail, adultery, treachery, greed, and murder. Can you solve the mystery before they do? Now, mystery fans like working out the puzzle. That's what the story is all about, especially cozy type mystery fans or classic mystery fans. They find a story as being basically a puzzle wrapped in a story. That's what a mystery is for them. So I give a lot of ideas that this is going to be a good puzzle for them to work on. Now, a romance reader is looking for some vicarious experience of the romance. A action adventure reader is looking for something that gives them a sense of adventure. So try to get across that this is going to fulfill their expectations in those ways. Notice I also get the word mystery in a couple of times, also murder. These are words people could be using in trying to locate a book of this nature. Underneath the description section is something called From the Author. This is where you give a personal comment about your book. The description is different. It gives a sense about what the book is about. In this place, you give something about your take on writing the book. Uh, uh, what did you feel writing it? How was this an important book for you to write? What gave you some ideas for it? Whatever, something that gives an inside look on a more personal basis about the book. Now, the next two sections, you'll have a place to paste in the front flap and the back cover copy if you have any. Now, in the case I have here, this is an ebook, doesn't have a book cover, doesn't have a flap, so I leave those blank. Doesn't matter, it doesn't show up if you don't have anything in it. Finally, there's an author section and it says about the author. Now, this is where you can create a very personalized biography specific to that book. Now, in this case, I write about how I have been writing Bible studies for 30 years, and I have enjoyed teaching Bible for 40 years, and I give a sense of discussion of my Bible study background and how that's been a joy in my life. And writing Bible studies, it just doesn't get any better than that. So I mention that often, and I mention the words Bible study often, so that people looking for books, looking for Bible studies, this can show up a little bit higher in the search engine than those that just mention Bible study once or twice. Now, does this work? Well, if you run a search for Bible study agape, this will pop up at the top of the list. Run something on Bible study love, you'll probably get it somewhere around the middle of the second page out of a couple thousand hits. So it works pretty well for me. And basically, that's all you need to know about putting together your author page and tweaking your um, sales page on Amazon. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and I hope you also uh, have found this useful. I will look forward to hearing from you anytime,